In the Rocky Mountains, Canadian Pacific's railroad crews must haul the most challenging load of the season.
We're way off here, Willie. We're way off here.
Cross country.
We're concerned about the car back there. God only knows what could happen.
While track crews scramble to stay one step ahead.
It's the weight of a battleship, and it's just pounding the track bed down.
"2,500 kilometers east of the Rockies in Thunder Bay, Ontario, dock workers are unloading a unique piece of cargo that will test the railroad and its crews to their limits. This giant urea reactor is more than 33 meters long and weighs a colossal 210 tons, nearly 2.5 times the weight of the space shuttle. The steel cylinder will be used to help manufacture nitrogen-based fertilizers, critical for Canada's agriculture industry and exports. Just getting it from Europe to Thunder Bay via the Great Lakes was a huge challenge.
We're 2,300 miles inland, so it's farther to sail from the coast to Thunder Bay than it is to cross the Atlantic. 16 locks lift the ship 602 feet. So it's quite a remarkable engineering feat to get this far inland with an ocean ship.
It will take the port crew all day to prepare the reactor for loading before Canadian Pacific's railroad crew can haul it across the country. The transport journey actually starts in the Rockies. From Revelstoke, rail crews will guide a mixed manifest train 2,400 kilometers east on a milk run. The train will stop in dozens of locations along the way, dropping off and picking up cars until it reaches Thunder Bay. There, it will pick up its most precious load, the urea reactor, and then carry it 1,300 kilometers west to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. The first of several crews that will take on this cross-country challenge heads east out of Revelstoke.
Let's do some railroading.
Engineer Jordy Hunter is at the helm, and riding shotgun is Tom Waver.
Because Tom essentially is the boss. Right. I'm his chauffeur. Yep, Tom's the boss.
I'm the boss if I get promoted to a locomotive engineer.
Well, we have train 400 today. We picked it up at Revelstoke. It's heading east through to Thunder Bay.
Jordy and Tom are driving a mixed manifest train to pick up the reactor.
Mixed manifest trains are, to me, more interesting than standard bulk trains. All types of different cars.
So it's the dog's breakfast train.
Yeah.
You know, there's lumber cars, tank cars, so all the weird stuff is on there. And sometimes we have to follow restrictions and keep an eye on certain things because it's an exception to what we usually deal with.
In Thunder Bay, project manager Willie Gavinchuk is gearing up to lift the 210-ton reactor off the ship.
Grab that side.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, we got the forklift here right away. We can slide it.
It's so heavy, 2 shipboard cranes will be needed to lift and lower it onto a pair of custom-made flatbed rail cars. Engineers have fitted 2 special metal plates called bolsters onto the cars. These rotate and slide forwards and backwards. The reactor will be welded to these plates, distributing its weight across the 2 cars. The rotating plates allow the 33-meter-long reactor to pivot and slide independent of the train's direction as it navigates tight turns. Without the moving plates, the welds could snap and cause the train to derail.
This assembly here, the large plate on the bottom and the narrower plate on top is a bolster assembly. This plate slides, has 14 inches of travel, so that when it travels down the railway tracks, that slot allows it to go around curves on the tracks. What I want to do is I want to get it centered before we put a load on it. We're very close on that. No, I think he's got to go a little bit.
Just open up this fork.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I can see both lines anyway.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
It's looking good.
In the Rockies, Jordy is settling back into the controls for the long trip ahead. He's been off exploring his railroading roots. Jordy's great-great-great-uncle, George Stevenson, is known as the father of railroading.
Well, I took a month's vacation and I went to the United Kingdom. George Stephenson designed a locomotive in 1829 and they called it the Rocket. I wanted to see the actual locomotive because that's what started it all. I saw the Rocket and that was in the London Museum of Sciences. So to me, that was something special. The design of Stephenson's locomotive is a design that's been carried through to this day with steam locomotives.
I'm the only one in my whole family who works on the railway, actually.
Scanner's going off.
Just as Jordy and Tom get up to speed,
147, start track 1 degree, axle 560,
they run into trouble.
alarm.
560?
560, 1218.
A trackside sensor called a hotbox has detected something wrong with an axle in one of their wheels.
And we have a clear signal.
They're only 150 kilometers into the journey, but have no option but to pull over into the rail yard at Golden for an emergency inspection.
86.3, clear to stop.
Oh, I guess we are stopping.
Perfect.
Okay.
The locomotive maintenance team gets to work, trying to find the source of the problem.
We're looking for missing brake shoes, burnt off brake shoes, missing broken parts.
Diesel service attendant Tom Broder prepares the train for inspection.
I need to put the train in emergency so that we can work on it, and also to ensure that it doesn't roll away anywhere. And that is now locked. Nobody can drive this train. We're lock flag disabled. Train's in emergency on the south end, over.
Copy that, we're line locked. Blue flag up on the north end of I-track, over.
Hey, thanks, Dougie. Okay to go to work.
Rock and roll.
Maintenance engineer Dan Van Diest starts at the front end locomotive.
Inspect, make sure there's nothing broken, cracked. Everything looks good there. And we'll start walking around the side of the locomotive here. This is your sander here. These apply sand with air. So when the rails get icy, we can apply sand to the wheels, which gives it better traction. Springs are good. We also want to be checking our wheels. Wheels are very important. If you get a high flange, there's a chance for a derailment.
Okay.
Railcar mechanic Greg Polipchuk thinks that he's found the defect that set off the hotbox alarm.
Got our wheel here.
One of the wheels has a dangerously worn flange and needs to be replaced.
So just gauge the wheel with this gauge. It's a bad order wheel for a high flange. So Kate's gonna call it in as a bad order, and this car's gonna get set off.
Got a wheel for you here?
For now, Jordy's train isn't going anywhere.
Let's go.
In Canadian Pacific's rail maintenance yard in Golden, BC, one of Jordy and Tom's train cars urgently needs a new set of wheels replaced so it can travel onward to Thunder Bay to load up the 210-ton fertilizer reactor.
Back up and we'll take her in the shop.
It rests on the shoulders of mechanic Ken Sutter
A little more.
and his new rookie, Caitlin Rayon,
Okay.
to swap out the colossal wheel set fast. The train runs on 200 pairs of solid steel wheels called a set. Each wheel set weighs more than 1,300 kilograms. Every wheel has a rim on its inside edge called a flange. These keep the wheels safely locked between the rails. But after billions of revolutions, carrying millions of tons, the wheels wear down. Over time, the height and thinness of the flange increases. If it becomes too high and too thin, it can ride up over the rail or snap off, derailing the train.
I'm working with Katie, and basically we're gonna move the car down to the jacks, jack it up and change a wheel. If you want to pull that first one out?
Yep. I am an apprentice railway car mechanic. I've always been a tomboy. I've always wanted to work at CP. My dad, my grandpa both worked at CP.
Got her?
Got her.
Okay.
I'm technically a third generation. Pretty excited about it, actually. We're gonna lift the end of the car, so that we can roll the truck side out from underneath.
And there we go.
I'm swinging over the jib cranes so we can lift the side of the truck so we can put a new wheel in.
We'll roll this under, and then we'll just lower it down. That one went good. All right. So basically, the whole truck's gonna roll right back under again. Coming down.
Okay. There we go.
Everything's tight.
Yeah.
You gotta like this system. It's probably 200 years old and still works.
We better get going here.
With the new wheel set fitted, Jordy and Tom can continue on.
Feels good to be back on steel wheels. Hopefully everything stays smooth and running like a well-oiled machine.
2,500 kilometers east of the Rockies in Cochrane, Ontario. The crew of the Ontario Northland Railway is gearing up to make a crucial supply run for a local bushman and trapper who lives off the grid on the edge of the Arctic.
What time we got here?
3 minutes to.
Nice.
Conductor Jay Falldien is loading up the Polar Bear Express, a service train that runs along this flagstop line from Monday through Friday.
We're just passenger train going up to Moosonee, making sure everything that we've got to be offloaded, if we have to stop along the way, gets there, and making sure everybody on here gets to where they're supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Basically, the two engineers up in the head end, they're in charge of the engines and all the coaches behind that. That's mine and Tom's responsibility. And that includes the passengers, making sure that the coaches are stocked with what they need. We've got some solar panel batteries to offload at mile 131 for William Tozer's camp. William Tozer. Local legend is probably a good way of putting it. In the bush, there's nobody that you'd rather be with than William Tozer.
William Tozer, he's one of the first guys I met working this job, and he's, I don't think eccentric is the right word, but he's quite a character, and his whole family, they're a lot of fun to be around, and they're really good people.
We chopped a bunch of holes there. I don't want to step in one. I know it's not a marten. Sounds like a beaver. You got him? Yeah, definitely a beaver. There's not worth a lot of money right now. Maybe 40, 50 bucks if you're lucky. Maybe make some hats and mitts. My mom's Cree. Grew up just down here, maybe 11, 10 miles from here. And up here we have a lot of First Nations people. My parents and grandparents, they always ran the summer camps. We've been running the camp for maybe 20, 25 years now.
Williams Camp is named Camp Onakawana, but locally it's known as Camp 131 because it's located at mile 131 on the Ontario Northland Railway line.
We started bringing in school groups, teaching them about trapping, fishing, some traditional stuff from this area. Hopefully we can get everybody to enjoy the outdoors and their culture again.
Born and bred in the bush, William wants to pass on his outdoor skills to local youth. He's building an education center where he can do that.
The type of activities that they'll be doing in there is feed work, tamarack geese, and moose tanning, that kind of stuff.
William aims to fit the center with solar panels to save $1,500 a month in fuel costs.
If it works as good as you say it does, should pay for itself in the first year. Right now we're waiting for the batteries. They're going to be coming on the train, and we'll be able to hook everything up and see if it works.
In addition to the solar panels' batteries, William will need to bring in 8 tons of lumber, plywood, and insulation to build his center. The solar panel batteries and building supplies are coming from different sources. The batteries are coming from Cochrane, so Jay and the team will transport them north to mile 131. The building materials are coming from Moosonee and will head south on an overnight freight train. The freight crew will drop off the boxcar into a siding for William and his team to unload. Then they'll have to haul everything 8 kilometers back to camp using nothing but snowmobiles.
If it wasn't for this train, some of the stuff that he has brought into his camp, there's no other way really to get it to him. A couple years ago, we pretty much brought up an entire brand new kitchen for him. It'd be kind of tough to haul that up here on a four-wheeler.
In the Rockies, ahead of Jordy and Tom's train,
Yeah, we'll get a jack or two. We'll just level it, put it up level.
track maintenance foreman Ryan McDonald is getting ready to right winter's wrongs.
There's some low-hanging ties every time a train goes over it. Kind of a soft spot.
Over time, you get lots of trains over it, and ties settle in the ballast.
The unstable track means this section has a speed restriction of 25 miles per hour, something 24-year-old Green Vest Jesse Dahlberg hopes to change.
My job today is digging the holes, putting rock under the ties. I think I can handle it.
Jesse's role will be as much manual labor as possible. That's what his Green Vest is for.
Jesse has spent the last 8 months working the rails.
I do remember the days of a Green Vest. When I started, the rate of pay was a lot lower, and it seemed like the work was harder. That's how you learn. If you do something wrong, you get picked at, and you don't do it wrong again.
I got a lot more to learn, but I think I'm ready for the orange vest.
Jesse needs to raise up and level out this 3/4 of an inch dip in the tracks.
We're just trying to get the track level all in one line.
Hang on.
Good. Yeah, I've done this lots, and I feel confident. We're working on the main line now, so there's a little bit more urgency. We need to make sure we get the job done in time, so we're not holding up trains.
Outside the town of Golden, British Columbia, Green Vest Jesse and the track maintenance crew are under pressure.
20 minutes. Not a lot of time.
The team needs to raise a section of damaged track to make it level again, so that the speed restriction through here can be removed.
We use a lining bar to get underneath the tie, lift the tie, hold it solid to the rail, and the hydraulic tamper just to poke rock underneath the tie.
To do the job, they need to compact the ballast they've added under the tracks to exactly the right height, using a pneumatic tool called a tamper.
Jesse is going to run the tamper.
Nice to be tamping again. The ground's been frozen all winter, and it's a little easier now to get the ties up.
On their journey east to the shores of Lake Superior, Jordy and Tom's mixed manifest train is approaching fast. They're relying on the newly repaired track to help speed them through.
The railway's a 24-hour industry, massive heavy trains. They're always moving, and the track has always got something that needs to be tended to. When you think about it, it's the weight of a battleship, and it's just pounding the track bed down.
We're running between 15 and 20,000 tons, so it has to have integrity.
That's a massive amount of weight.
Ahead, the clock is ticking on the tamping team as Jordy and Tom approach.
Jesse's got good endurance. He likes to run the tamper, usually till he almost falls over.
To hold up the track, the ballast has to be compressed to interlock properly. So it takes focus and force until...
Good there.
Now we're just waiting for some trains to move over the work that we've done.
The weight of Jordy and Tom's heavy train will give Jesse's ballast a final tamp down.
The foremans will look at it and say the problem is solved, see if I've done my job properly.
If the defect that we tamped stays level, then we will be able to cancel the slope. And if it doesn't stay, we can blame Jesse. This is decision time for Jesse to make sure he did good work. If he didn't do a good job, he's gonna buy everybody lunch.
It does make me nervous. I like to do a good job. I don't like to screw anything up, so I don't want to have to buy everybody lunch.
I like clubhouse sandwiches, French fries and gravy.
If I did my job right, the track shouldn't be too high or too low. Looks good.
Looks good. Looks like that's where we want it. We're gonna be canceling the slope. Jesse did a good job, and unfortunately, I don't get lunch.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow is another day.
"2,500 kilometers east, Jay Falldien is heading deep into the Ontario wilderness.
We're about 3 hours from Cochrane and roughly an hour and a bit from Moosonee.
He needs to deliver a critical shipment of batteries to William Tozer.
He's not in the middle of nowhere, but he's pretty darn close. Which up here is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Want to come and grab these boxes for me here, Tom? I better go one over there.
At the drop-off point for Williams' camp, Jay unloads the batteries for Tozer to pick up later.
William knows we dropped this stuff off for him. He'll come pick it up. Probably snow machine and a sled.
What we got planned is get all the batteries connected, no more generator. The railroad wasn't that close. I don't think we'd be able to do what we're doing. We just haul it all back by snow machine.
While William transports the batteries to his bush camp, an hour north in Moosonee, the rest of the building supplies are being loaded up by William's friend, Tony.
All told, we have about 8 tons of materials to move.
Tony Tourville, a Moosonee resident, has organized a donation of 100 sheets of plywood, 48 bags of heavy-duty insulation, and 6 skids of lumber to frame and clad the recreation center.
I'm a builder by trade. I just volunteer my time to help as part of my contribution to the community. I've worked on many remote communities along the James Bay coast, and I've always used the ONR to ship my materials.
The Ontario Northland Freight Train runs overnight once a week between the towns of Cochrane and Moosonee.
That's it now, eh? So I get a lockup? This is it. We've got all the materials that we need for our new recreation center in the boxcar. The boxcar will be leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning.
"700 kilometers west in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Try to get it down before the weather gets too bad.
Willie Gavinchuk is offloading the massive 210-ton urea reactor ready for its journey west to Saskatchewan.
Looking good.
The huge steel reactor must be precisely positioned onto the specially adapted train cars so it can be welded down for transport.
I'll watch on the front saddle.
The reactor's mounting section, known as saddles, needs to be lined up with the rotating bolster plates on the train cars below.
What if you go back another 10 feet, Willie? I think we'd still be okay.
Everything seems to be lining up.
I think we're going to be close enough.
But as the reactor is lowered closer to the rail cars,
watch on the saddles.
We're way off here, Willie.
How much off?
2 feet.
Son of a...
In Thunder Bay, Ontario, Willie Gavinchuk is struggling to load a 210-ton urea reactor onto the rail cars that will haul it halfway across Canada.
I've got an issue with the cars, Ron. I'll ask your expertise here. 25.9 on the saddle. That is 85 feet, saddle center to center. And the car is 86, 8 1/4. Saddles are good, rail cars are out.
The reactor is fitted with 2 steel saddles, which are supposed to sit on metal plates welded to the rail cars. But the saddles aren't lining up with the plates.
We've discovered that the rail cars do not match up with the saddles. The saddles are in the correct position as per the engineered drawings.
They will have to move one of the bolster plates, but that will take time, and the ship needs to leave the dock now.
The edge here has got to be on that mark there. Just a little bit. Oh, good.
The reactor has to be offloaded, so they need to find a safe way to secure the reactor temporarily and fast.
We're pulling it over so that we get it flush on this edge here. We'll get it positioned, we'll bring it down. Watch your fingers. Easy.
You're good there,
Oh,
you're good there.
oh.
Good there? Yeah.
Let's square the plate up to the saddle. Push the plate a little more. Oh! I got the reactor off the ocean vessel where we've got one end positioned on the rail car.
Finally, they managed to secure it well enough for now.
We're going to secure that to make sure that we don't lose that positioning. So what we're going to have to do is shift the bolster plates. We'll lose about 24 hours in the process.
West of the Canadian Rockies in North Bend, BC, amateur magician Jimmy the Wizard Taylor is settling into his new job on the steel gangs. In just a couple of weeks, he's developed a brand new attitude.
I try and have this enthusiasm about me because I find that when you're happy and in a good mood, it rubs off on people. No matter how I feel, I always have to be in a good mood.
Jimmy now works 500 kilometers from his home in Revelstoke. It's a grueling schedule of 8 days away, 6 days home.
I'm missing the girlfriend, and it wasn't until I got into the car is when I teared up because I bought a greatest hits of the 1980s. They're all breakup songs. The very first song was Don't Forget About Me.
Today, Jimmy meets his new boss, Alina Miller.
I am the extra gang foreman on BC Rail number 1 in the Pacific region. If something out here happens, it does fall on my shoulders.
Her reputation is tough but fair, with an emphasis on tough.
So we're gonna do a head cut here. There's your buddy.
Who?
James.
That's the wizard?
That's his name, the wizard?
Well, I don't know, so you tell people.
And just like Alina, Jimmy's reputation has preceded him.
So I'm gonna make him work, see if he cries at the end of the spot, and if he doesn't, then he's okay in my books.
I just got to keep thinking each day that I can do it. I can come here. Every day I try and shove a smile on my face.
Jimmy will need more than a winning smile to win over Alina Miller.
Get the wizard on it. Jim, your name's Jim?
Yes.
Have you set plates before? You want to place them so they're right here, so that when the plate liner comes along, you can push it into the side.
The steel gang's main job is to replace large sections of worn rail. Once the worn rail has been removed, the steel plates that fasten the new rail to the ties must be repositioned. And to speed up the process, they use an automated machine called the plate liner to make sure the plates all line up.
Jordy, can you show him how to run the plate liner? I am throwing Jimmy, the wizard, on the plate liner. So it basically keeps the gauge for when the steel's laid.
The trick is to never fall behind the machine,
Oh, there's more plates.
which is nearly impossible when the plates are upside down.
Leave it, leave it.
They're leaving plates upside down for me and backwards and every which direction just to get to me. Playing jokes on the new guy, I'd most likely do it too to the new guy on the plate setter.
You gotta test it out, right? See if he can hold up to the game.
After 90 meters on the plate liner, Jimmy's test for the day is over.
That it?
But Jimmy still has a long way to go before he proves himself on the steel gangs.
We get a lot of new hires that quit straight off the bat. Passion and dedication and taking pride in your job, that makes you progress forward.
I hope she sees me as a tough worker. I want to definitely show her that I'm not an underdog. I know a lot of people have their doubts about me. That's why I keep working harder and harder and harder each day, because I need to prove these people wrong.
Having almost spent the maximum time allowed at the train controls, Jordy and Tom are nearing the town of Field, British Columbia.
You know, they say, well, a true professional makes it look easy. Well, that's great. But, you know, this is one of those jobs you can't screw around.
You know, it is a fun job, but at the same time, it is serious because of what we are dealing with.
Yeah.
Their leg of the cross-country journey has come to an end.
Both Tom and I have had a long day. The outgoing crew are going to be taking our train onwards to Calgary, and it'll progressively make its way across Canada to Thunder Bay. I'm looking forward to a little downtime.
Catch a well-deserved nap.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that's that. Another successful trip. Job well done.
After you.
No, thank you very much.
In Moosonee, Northern Ontario,
5 more, 18095. 5.
it's 2:50 a.m. The Ontario Northland crew is securing William Tozer's 8-ton lumber delivery on the southbound overnight freight train.
Tozer has a camp at 131. We're spotting a boxcar full of building material so they could build a rec room for the kids during the summer. They get to go there and learn how to fish and First Nation stuff, and the stuff they don't get to learn in school, I guess.
Yeah, we're all set to go now.
I'm First Nation. My mother was a Cree. She's from up north, about a mile down the track there. My job is a conductor on the railway. I'm conductor on freight from Moosonee to Cochrane. And I basically just in charge of the train, getting the clearances and make sure we run safely.
ONR detector.
Just as they get going,
Hot wheel east side axle 4 5. Total defects 2.
We got a hot wheel on the detector, and I'm just going to get off and check the 10th car.
a trackside detector that monitors the temperature of the train's axles as it passes has registered a hot wheel, triggering the in-cab alarm.
A snug handbrake. That one's loose. That's the problem. Just a snug handbrake that we missed on our initial inspection.
The parking brake wasn't fully disengaged, so the friction against the wheel caused it to heat up. Luckily for Phil, he caught it before any serious damage was done.
Almost there. You can get the cut, Thomas, so I'll get the switch. One last 09. We'll put the car in the siding where we think he can get it the best.
The crew will leave the building supplies in the boxcar overnight so that William can pick them up in the morning.
And that's it. We're gonna head back into Cochrane. We're done with the box. And like I say, we won't touch it again until William empties it out.
In Thunder Bay, Ontario, Willie and the team have worked through the night to move the bolster plate to its correct position. Now, they're racing the clock to weld the reactor to the rail cars for its 1,300-kilometer journey west to Moose Jaw.
We've got the welder securing down the saddles to the bolster plates. We were in lousy conditions yesterday in the rain and the sleet, and it was very difficult to get a good weld. We're ready to roll, and they'll get it to the destination safely.
The new crew, conductor Stephen Olshanovsky and engineer Conrad Party, get set for the epic journey west across Canada.
The load is 40 miles an hour today. We can't exceed 40 miles an hour. Usually we'd be 60. So it's going to take us a little longer to get home today.
The cars carrying the massive reactor have been securely hitched to the mixed manifest train.
If a load goes around too tight of a curve, it can pop off. That's why it's on those special cars. You have a dimensional notice. Dimensional shipment is one which exceeds the maximum standards of size, weight, and/or height of center of gravity as established by CP. Did you learn something today? Well, I knew it, just, you know, not in those particular terms. High, heavy, wide.
Conrad and Stephen's leg of the journey may be across flat prairies, but with loads this big, the risks are still high.
We're concerned about the car back there. We look back, and when we stop, Steve checks it out, and when he's walking by, just as a visual, just to make sure nothing's broken, and we keep a good eye on it. If you have a crossing accident and you hit something big, God only knows what could happen. That weld could break on that car. God help us, it don't happen.
"700 kilometers to the east, Ontario Northland Railway's crew have successfully delivered William Tozer's boxcar of building materials. But before William picks up the rest of the timber and supplies, he wants to test the solar panels to see if they work. First, he needs to charge up the batteries.
But I never really installed one before. But they said they got all the instructions and that, so.
His friends from the local community have rallied to help out, including local Evan O'Rourke.
Heavy?
The batteries store excess electricity generated from the panels for when the weather doesn't play ball.
The solar panels are a pretty good idea. I mean, green energy is good. Save on some fuel on the generator, and save on Mother Earth. You gotta be good to her. She's a nice lady. How much fuel do you think it burn in a year, Willie?
Between 1,000 and 1,500 a month. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah, so this is well worth it. So yeah, not having to bring in fuel by sleigh and whatnot from the train to here. And time and effort. Willie's not a spring chicken anymore.
Now we're gonna put the panels up. Wow, you guys are really doing it.
It's coming together quite well. We're getting pretty close now to connecting everything together.
Oh, I hear a noise.
We should be making power now.
With the batteries charging up, they head out to unload the 8 tons of lumber and building supplies. It's an 8-kilometer trek through the icy wilderness to the site where the rail crew dropped off the boxcar.
Here we are.
When we do something like this with a boxcar, we try and get it unloaded as quick as possible. 5 miles, we transport everything by snow machine. We use flat sleighs, toboggans, whatever you can call a good load. We like to have 4 or 5 guys helping us. We had a warm weather the other day, and the trail's pretty lumpy now because we rutted it up by driving on it. Now it's froze like a brick and it's very rough.
It will take dozens of trips through the snow to shuttle all the supplies to the camp.
My finger, 2 of them, I got smashed in between 2 logs the other day.
Nice and swollen.
Yeah, it's got a big knob on the end there now. Not even straight anymore. Looks like a set of skis.
Living the dream.
Hauling up to half a ton per sled over the rocky, uneven ground is tough work in -30 conditions.
We're gonna leave it here until we're ready. Probably middle of May, maybe. 3rd week in May. We'll cover it up.
It was a blast, but I don't want to do this again.
The team plans to build the recreation center when the snow thaws, but the new solar power system is ready to test.
There we go.
Can you turn it on or what?
There we go.
We have power. Solar power.
Look at that. Nice.
Out west, Conrad and Stephen are hauling the 210-ton reactor across the prairies.
That is correct.
And their train is about to get a lot shorter.
There's a potash mine up there. We're going to deliver about 75 potash cars, empties, so that they can come down and grab them and go and load them.
Loud and clear, 1041.
We're about to take the siding, and I got to jump off right now and do some work, set those cars off.
derailing. Lined up for track 3.
T-rails off, we're lined up for track 3. When we come in this siding, I got a certain amount of distance to stop this train. Stopping 411.
Ready to go.
Breaking up the train like this is called switching. Their first task is to release the link of 75 potash cars. Then Conrad uses his locomotive to shunt the potash cars onto the side tracks where mining crews will pick them up. This maneuver takes precision driving and a steady hand on the throttle to prevent fishtailing the train.
I'm trying to watch that load. That load is real heavy.
The gigantic reactor, straddling 2 rail cars, makes this task even tougher.
I gotta know everything, like I gotta be watching everything. I don't know if it does much to the wells, but you would think some stuff is gonna weaken after a while. This merchandise is pretty expensive stuff. Millions of dollars probably.
On the Canadian prairies, in Saskatchewan, train crew Conrad and Stephen are dropping off 75 empty potash cars on a siding for a local potash mine.
I'm off CFX 1041.
Conrad has to reverse the 1 kilometer-long section of potash cars into the siding without damaging the valuable reactor.
Okay, ahead, CFX 1041. Done.
Yeah, we got a medium to clear, we're good to go. Train's a lot lighter now, went very well. Now we'll go over to the moose jaw.
The train may be shorter and lighter, but they still have 100 kilometers to travel with the 210-ton reactor.
If I look back and I see some smoke back there on that load, we would stop, check it out. Based on what's wrong with it, we would go from there. There's different things you could do, right? If it's a hot wheel, there's certain corrective action we can take, but if it's a hot bearing, then we have to immediately set off the car.
It takes 2 hours, keeping one eye on the rails and one on the load, to guide the reactor west. Finally, the town of Moose Jaw rolls into view.
It's good that the journey is over and we got to do it safely. This is the end line for us.
Just gotta tie these brakes on to secure the train. If I don't put these on, the train could potentially roll away. Done.
The reactor will be collected and taken to its new home. This crucial component will contribute towards the millions of tons of urea fertilizer Canadian plants produce and export across the world each year. Canadian Pacific's railroad crews navigated across half the country, through massive mountains.
This was from a windstorm.
Was it?
The whole thing.
Wow, is that ever awesome?
And vast prairies
I got to know everything, like I got to be watching everything.
to make this unique delivery.
Hey, that's it, guys. We're done for the day. Thanks for riding with us.
In Northern Ontario, after 5 months of hard work, Williams Camp has a new addition. The Recreation Center is almost ready to host its first youth groups.
We got probably 95% done now, and we got another week on it maybe. So it's gonna go right here, and hopefully it'll heat the whole building. And the rest of it we'll use for whatever group is here, or whatever they want to do. Solar power saves us a lot of money on gas, as opposed to running with a generator all the time. With our panels, should be able to run all these buildings on green energy. We should be self-sufficient. In the last few years, there'll be a lot of interest bringing youth out or school trips, and we're getting a lot busier. So they'll have a place to go and get outside more and, you know, learn part of their culture for years to come, hopefully.
Next time.
They say that the rules out here are written in blood.
teams on the trains
This isn't just a Sunday drive.
Off we go!
and the tracks
Every minute that this unit is sitting still is costing thousands of dollars.
fight to keep the trains running.
Steel don't have mercy on skin and bone.